Okay, so hello everyone. Happy New Year to you all. I hope you had a great time yesterday with all the frivolities and what have you, and that you had a great time. Um, I just wanted to um, bring you today part 8 of England's most successful football club. Um, and I hope that you're going to find this enjoyable. However, before we start, I just want to point something out. You may have noticed that a couple of days ago I uploaded a video where I showed you the table of all the clubs that we've covered so far. Now, one of the reasons I did that was because that day I discovered that the Excel spreadsheet that I'd used to calculate the points for all the clubs that had a small error in it. What it had done was that it calculated all the teams that had won the FA Cup after a replay as having won the cup on 2 separate occasions, which obviously is not the case. So I've amended the error in the spreadsheet and it's no longer doing that. And I've checked thoroughly the rest of the spreadsheet to make sure there's no similar errors. So hopefully, fingers crossed that nothing like this will happen again, because it was quite frustrating. And like I say, I want to offer you my apologies, and I hope it won't spoil your enjoyment of this video video series that I'm putting out for you. Anyway, so like I say, I hope you had a great time and that this year you all have a wonderful year and you enjoy all the success and happiness that you can. And yeah, let's keep talking and enjoy the football and just have enjoyable lives and healthy lives. So anyway, without further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, so hi everyone. The first team we're going to look at today is a team called the Royal Engineers. Now, the Royal Engineers are a military side. Their proper name is the Royal Engineers Association Football Club, and they represent the Corps of the Royal Engineers, the sappers of the British Army. In the 1870s, they were one of the strongest sides in English football, winning the FA Cup in 1875 and being also cup finalists in 3 out of the first 4 seasons. The Engineers were pioneers of the combination game. What that means is that rather than just kicking the ball and chasing after it, they pass it around their teammates. Rather than, like I say, just kicking the ball and charging after the ball. With the rise of professional teams in 1888, the Engineers joined a newly formed Army Football Association. Now, they won the FA Cup on one occasion, which was 1874 to 75. When they, after a replay, which was held at Kennington Oval, when they drew 1-1 with Old Etonians, and then the replay, which was won 2-0 by the Royal Engineers against the Old Etonians, obviously, again at the Kennington Oval, was held in front of a crowd of 3,000. They were runners-up on 3 occasions. In 1871 to 1872, they lost 1-0 to Royal Engineers, again in Kennington Oval, in front of a crowd of 2,000. In 1873 to 74, when they lost 2-0 to Oxford University, again at Kennington Oval, again in front of a crowd of 2,000. And in 1877-78, they lost 3-1 again to the Royal Engineers at Kennington Oval in front of a crowd of 4,500. So yeah, I mean, that's quite an interesting one, I guess. And I believe that they're based in Chatham in Kent, and they're still playing to this day. Okay, so the next two clubs that I've got on my list for today, I covered last week, so I'm not going to go into detail about them again, um, because I don't want to bore you, basically. Anyway, so the first of these two was Carlisle United, who finished 60th in my Warren's Team Talk league table with 547 points. And like I say, I covered them last week. And then the second club was Swansea City, who were previously known as Swansea Town, and they finished 59th with 601 points. And like I say, we covered those two clubs last week. So I'm not going to go over them again. They basically had the same number, but after the error was put right, they still had the same points, but they just moved in the table because of the realignment of the points. So anyway, that's them two. Okay, so the next club today is Bradford City, who finished 58th in my fantastic league table. And they managed to accumulate 625 points. And Bradford City AFC, as they're properly known, or Association Football Club, are nicknamed the Bantams. And they were formed in 1903, and they were immediately elected into the Football League second division in Tier 2. Now, shortly after being elected into the second division, Tier 2, they won promotion to the top tier. They did this in 1907, 1908, when they won the Tier 2 title. And they followed this up by winning the 1911 FA Cup final against Newcastle United after winning 1-0 in a replay, which was played in front of a crowd of 58,000 at Old Trafford. The first game ended in a 0-0 draw and was played at Crystal Palace in front of 69,068 fans, which at the time was a record attendance for an FA Cup final. This FA Cup triumph, though, remains the club's only major honour to date. They were relegated in 1922 and again in 1927 before winning the Third Division North title, Tier 3, in 1928-29. Another relegation followed in 1937 and in 38-39. They secured a third place finish in the Third Division North, Tier 3, but did not win promotion to Tier 2. And this was the final completed league season before the outbreak of World War II. The club was successful in finishing third in the Third Division North Tier 3 in 1957-58, which was the final season before the third tier was restructured into new national third and fourth divisions. After being relegated to the newly formed fourth division in 1962, they secured promotion back into the third tier in 1969 and 1977 after finishing fourth in the fourth division Tier 4 on both occasions, but were relegated back to the fourth division Tier 4 in 1972 and 1978. They found success in the 80s, though, when they were managed first by Roy McFarland and then by Trevor Cherry, winning promotion in 1981-82 season after finishing second in the fourth division Tier 4 and following this up with the third division Tier 3 title in 1984-85. Then in the 1987-88 season, they finished fourth in the second division, Tier 2. Unfortunately, though, they missed out on automatic promotion to the first division, Tier 1, by a mere point and an inferior goal difference, and then lost out on being promoted via the playoffs after losing 3-2 to Middlesbrough after 2 legs in the playoff semi-finals. Sadly, though, they were relegated out of the second division in 1990. In the 1995-96 season, Bradford finished 6th in Tier 3 and were promoted back into the second tier when they beat Notts County 2-0 in the playoff final at Wembley Stadium. The club then secured another promotion in 1998-99 when they finished second in the First Division Tier 2 to reach the Premier League Tier 1, marking a return to the top flight after a 77-year absence. In 2000-2001, the club started a fall from grace, which included several financial crises and relegations, leaving the club back in the 4th tier. They then found success in 2013 by being runners-up in the League Cup when they lost to Swansea City 5-0 in the final at Wembley Stadium in front of a crowd of 82,000. That year's League Two playoff final, 3-0 against Northampton Town. The club's home ground is Valley Parade, which sadly was the site of a horrific stadium fire on the 11th of May 1985, which sadly took the lives of over 56 people. And all I can really say about that is how sad it was and how sickened I was to see the images of that incident on the TV when it happened. I remember it as though it was yesterday. It was absolutely awful. Yeah, so rest in peace to all those poor people, and my thoughts and condolences obviously go out to all the people that have been affected by it. But yeah, so that's a very, very sad ending to the story of Bradford City Football Club. So here we go. Well, the next team today, who finished in 57th place with 645 points, were Rotherham United. And again, this was the team that I covered last week, so I'm not going to bore you with their details all over again. So yeah, just to let you know again that the points that they got haven't changed. It's just because the recalculation of the points from the other teams mean that they moved in the table, and that's it really. So yeah, that's Rotherham. Okay, so the next team today on Warren's Team Talk League table is Brentford, who picked up 687 points and finished in 56th place. Now, Brentford, otherwise known as the Bees, were formed in 1889 and played home matches at Griffin Park from 1904 before moving to Brentford Community Stadium in 2020. Brentford were elected into the Football League in 1920, and in 1929-30 they finished the season second. In 1930-31 they finished third, and then went on to win the Third Division South Tier 3 title in 1932-33, and then finished fourth in Tier 2 in 1933-34 before winning the Second Division Tier 2 title in 1934-35 season. They then spent 5 seasons in the First Division, reaching a peak of 5th in 1935-36 season. 3 relegations then followed, which left the club in the 4th Division by 1962. However, during this period, they secured a second place finish in Tier 3 in 1957-58 and a third place finish the next season in 58-59 season. They were then crowned 4th Division Tier 4 champions in 1962-63. Brentford were relegated, sadly, however, in 1966, and then finished 3rd in 1971-72, but were once again relegated in 1973. They then spent 14 seasons in the 3rd Division Tier 3 after gaining promotion in 1977-78 after finishing 4th in Tier 4, and went on to win the 3rd Division Tier 3 title in 1991-92, though unfortunately they were relegated again in 1993. In the 1994-95 season, they finished 2nd in Tier 3, but missed out on promotion after eventually losing on penalties to Huddersfield Town after both legs of the semi-finals of the playoffs ended in a 1-1 draw. This disappointment was followed up with more disappointment in the 1996-97 season, when they finished 4th in Tier 3, but missed out on promotion after losing 1-0 to Crewe Alexandra in the playoff final. Brentford were then relegated in the 4th tier into the 4th tier in 1998 and won promotion as champions in the 1998-99 season. And in the 2001-2002 campaign, they finished 3rd in Tier 3, but missed out on promotion to Tier 2 when they lost to Stoke City 2-0 again in the playoff final. And they then followed this up in 2004-2005 season by finishing 4th in Tier 3 and again losing in the promotion playoffs, this time 3-1 on aggregate to Sheffield Wednesday. The very next season, in 2005-06, they finished 3rd in Tier 3 and once again lost out in the promotion playoffs semi-finals, this time to Swansea City and again by 3-1 on aggregate. They were relegated in 2007 and won promotion as champions of League 2 Tier 4 in 2008-2009. This was followed up by a 3rd place finish in Tier 3 in 2012-13, and sadly, yet again, they missed out on promotion to Tier 2 when they lost in the playoffs, again after losing 2-1 in the final, and this time to Yeovil Town. They finally secured promotion out of League 1 Tier 3 in 2013-14 when they finished 2nd in Tier 3 and so were promoted automatically. So their poor supporters did not have to endure the pain of going through the playoffs on this occasion, which I'm sure they were relieved about because it sounds an absolute nightmare. In 2019-20, they finished 3rd in the championship, but again missed out on automatic promotion by 2 points, and then lost 2-1 after extra time in the playoff final to local rivals Fulham, to again miss out on promotion via the playoffs. To add to their misery of missed promotions in the playoffs, Brentford have been runners-up on 3 separate occasions in the EFL Trophy, where they have lost in 1985 3-1 to Wigan Athletic, 2001 to Port Vale, and 2011 when they lost 1-0 to Carlisle United. Their best performance in the FA Cup, The best performances in the FA Cup have come when they reached the quarter-final stage on 6 separate occasions, and this happened most recently in 1988-89 when they lost eventually 4-0 to Liverpool at Anfield. And their best performance in the League Cup has come this season when they have reached the semi-finals, and they're due to play this semi-final against Tottenham on the 5th of January in a few days' time. And this game is a one-off game to be played at Tottenham's ground. Okay, so the last team that we've got today is Wigan Athletic, who finished 55th in my list with 690 points. Wigan Athletic Football Club, to give them their full name, were formed in 1932 following the winding up of Wigan Borough the year before. Wigan were elected to the Football League in 1978, so they're relative newcomer, and were promoted out of the 4th Division Tier 4 in 1981-82 when they finished 3rd that season. Wigan won the EFL Trophy in 1985 when they beat Brentford 3-1 at Wembley Stadium in front of a crowd of 39,897 people. The following 2 seasons, 1985-86 and 86-87, after this EFL Trophy victory, they finished 4th in Tier 3. In 1985-86, they missed out on promotion by 1 point, and in 1986-87, they lost 3-2 on aggregate to Swindon Town in the playoff semi-finals. Sadly, though, the club were relegated back to the 4th tier in 1993. They then went on to win the 3rd Division Tier 4 title in 1996-97, and then followed this up by winning the Football League Trophy in 1999 when they defeated Millwall 1-0 at Wembley Stadium in front of a crowd of 55,349. The very next season, in 1999-2000, they secured a 4th place finish in Tier 3, but failed to win promotion after losing to Gillingham 3-2 after extra time in the playoff final. They won the Tier 3 title in 2002-03, and then in 2004-05, they finished as runners-up in the Championship Tier 2, and they won promotion to Tier 1 for the Premier League. Wigan were beaten finalists in the League Cup in 2006 when they lost to Manchester United 4-0 at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff in front of 66,000 fans. And then they won the FA Cup in 2013 when they managed to beat Manchester City 1-0 in the final at Wembley Stadium. In the following few years, they suffered relegations and ended up back in Tier 2. And then after this, they ended up winning the League One Tier 3 title in 2015-16 and again in 2017-18. On July the 1st, 2020, less than a month after a change of ownership, the club were placed into administration and were relegated from the Championship due to the subsequent points deduction. Okay, everyone, so that's the end of this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative, and it's helped you to recover from the frivolities of the new year. Anyway, so I hope you do all have a wonderful new year, much better than the year that we've just left behind. And let's hope we can all start turning things around this year and make it a better year for everyone. Anyway, so thanks ever so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like the video by clicking on the thumbs up button so at the bottom of the video, down here somewhere or other, I think it is. Anyway, you'll find it. And if you're new, thanks for coming and checking out my video. Please remember, if you are new, to subscribe to the channel, because then that way you won't miss out on any new videos that I upload. And if you feel inclined to do so, please feel free to put a comment in the description. That would be really great. Anyway, thanks again, and like I say, do all that for me. And if you know anyone who you feel might enjoy watching the video, please feel free to pass it around to them. It's completely free. There's nothing to pay, anything like that. And then never, as far as and all the time I've got breath in my body, it will stay that way. So anyway, take care. Have a lovely day. And I look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care, guys. Bye. Thanks a lot.